Peace, y'all. I'm straightening up. I just want to chop it up with y'all while I straighten up. Actually, let me put on the headphones. I got the what frequency? The 532 hertz rocking right now. I believe that's the frequency. Yeah, the 528 hertz rocking right now. 528 is about bonding DNA and changing DNA. So now that it's going into full moon time, it's a great time for any type of programs and visions that you're creating. This is a great time to actually visualize and use your mental powers. You may feel like you're in a meditative daze right now. You may feel like you can't really feel grounded. That's the type of energy that is here. It's really like a left-right brain hemisphere, especially with the lunar eclipse being in Gemini. So now it's really the time to grab your spiritual gifts. Um, what I want to talk about is, and let me put this in. Hold on. What I want to talk about is I want to go into eldership and the responsibility of eldership and how important it really is, and how a lot of us that are of age really take it for granted. And I was watching a video with DMX, and DMX was talking about how someone older than him had him start smoking crack. Someone that he looked up to, someone that he admired, someone that he emulated. You know, the brain, when we are under 25, our brain is not fully developed. So our brain doesn't fully develop until we hit the age of 25. So until we hit the age of 25, we got nothing. We got nothing, right? Well, I don't want to say we got nothing, but the brain is still developing. The brain is still enhancing, still learning. You're still really learning who you are and trying to navigate through this world. And the neuroplasticity is still taking place. And not that it ever stops, but it's taking place at a much higher rate. Because these new neurons that you are creating through your life experiences, you're creating new neural pathways, new neural connections, neurons that fire together, wire together. So as you experience things with your mother, experience things with your father, experience things with in the foster home, experience things with grandma, your grandparents, right? How you were raised. You know, these different experiences form different neural pathways. And I've seen life, right? I've seen life turn people, good people, into bad people. And you know what I mean by bad people. People you don't want to be around. Energy vampires, people that are out to get you, manipulate you, people that are harmful and destructive to themselves, right? People that don't value themselves and therefore don't value you. These type of people. And we all have encountered these people in life. So they're not anything new to us, right? These are people that we all experience. Sorry, I'm doing this and and trying to talk. So these people that we encounter are either lessons or blessings, right? Some people stick with us, some people don't. Some people we get rid of just through the journey of time, right? Doesn't mean we hate them, we just move on. So these experiences shape us. And as we hit the ripe old age of 25, these experiences are pretty much hardwired into a frame of consciousness to where we can expand it, or it could stay at 25, right? So this is where you see a lot of old fools, so to speak, people that are elders, right? People that are of a certain age, but they don't have any wisdom whatsoever. They have nothing to offer, nothing to give the youth, nothing to give their children, nothing to pass down, right? No inheritances, no life insurance, nothing. No wisdom, nothing. And the most important thing to pass down to your children is wisdom. Because if you give them all the money in the world, guess what? They just going to throw it away. They just going to get rid of it because people don't value what they didn't earn anyway. So if you give your child all the money in the world, guess what? They're just going to burn it. If you don't give them wisdom, if you don't tell them how to handle it and how to handle themselves, because how to handle themselves will also show them how to handle money correctly, right? You could be the best money manager in the world and get tricked out of all that by a beautiful woman if you don't know how to handle yourself, or a beautiful man if you don't know how to handle yourself correctly. So as we go into this development, right, and we come into eldership, it is a duty of us to spread wisdom and to display wisdom. But there are those of us that are elders that realize the youth is naive, like that dude did with DMX. And what they do is they prey upon the youth. They prey upon their inexperience. They prey upon their unknowing. Like a lot of the scammers in the conscious community, and not even just in the conscious community, but in all communities, a lot of the scammers, that's really who they're looking out for. And not just the scammers online, like the scammers on TV. The demographic, the most ideal demographic is 13 to 28, because they know that you have disposable income from mommy and daddy. You might be working your job and willing to blow your whole check in a day just to get what's on TV, just to get some chrome hearts. You know what I'm saying? Just to get some chrome hearts and some Balenciagas because you saw it on TV, just to get a Birkin, right? Or buy her a Birkin. And you end up getting caught up. Good book. King, Warrior, Magician, Lover for Men. This is the area, and I'm going to go into a video about manhood that I'm going to be dropping. I'm going to be doing a live. And also tomorrow, shout out to Sister Fire Harris. We're going to be doing a live video tomorrow. I know I dropped the video earlier, but this is the type of energy that this full moon is giving me. So I'm just channeling. But anyway, this is a great book. And it really defines manhood with these four archetypes, right? We're stuck as, especially black men, with the warrior archetype. Warrior, killer, gangster. That's all we're supposed to be. And our kingship is tied to just being a warrior, just being an armed hand. But if you watched Game of Thrones, the show Game of Thrones, right? Samwise was way more important than Jon Snow, because Samwise found the crystal. He was the magician. He was the magi. And he found out that the glass, dragon glass, I believe it was called, he found out that glass was what was able to kill the White Walkers. Without him, they wouldn't have stood a chance. So there's different aspects to manhood. We'll get into that. But the biggest development when you are past the age of 25 is you engaging in your spiritual development. And your spiritual development comes through trial and error. It comes through experimentation. And it comes through now with these things that you have in the past hardwired. Now you have to sometimes unwire them and rewire your neural pathway. So this is where the books come in. This is where the wisdom teachings come in. This is where the science comes in, right? This is where the speakers and the lectures come in, right? And then you start, doing work. You light your first candle, right? You might have killed your first chicken, depending on what you're doing. You might have you know, you might have started off with the law of attraction, right? Creating your vision board, right? Creating sigils, these different things. You start taking spirit baths, right? Getting waist beads with crystals, right? Little dips in the occult that a lot of Christian people like to make and say it's not the occult, but they're eating the blood of Christ. They're eating the body of Christ, drinking the blood of Jesus. So these things are what help you develop. But on the hero's journey, Frodo wouldn't be shit without Gandalf the magician. In Boys in the Hood, right? Lawrence Fishburne, the father figure. He was necessary for his son's, he was necessary for Trey's development. So Trey didn't get shot in the back like his homie, right? So there's always these elders, Thor with Odin, right? There's always these elders that are in the story to give wisdom. Even when I was watching Avatar, the cartoon, with the elder giving his son wisdom, the uncle giving his son wisdom. He was dropping all the wisdom in Avatar. And they were the quote unquote bad guys, the Fire Nation. So, eldership, a lot of times is wasted by elders themselves. And they waste it by not developing further, by not developing their magical selves, by not developing their wisdom faculties, by not investing in the youth. What a lot of people that step into eldership do is they get stuck in a time warp. And they usually are stuck at the age of 25. And they're stuck there. They don't read. The only information they take in is what's given by popular and mainstream media. They are led by the media, led by trends, led by fashion, led by beauty trends. Whatever the world tells them is acceptable, they do. These are the people who jog and bike ride with masks on. These are the people who are sitting in empty parks by themselves, or sitting in parks with yards of open space with masks on by themselves. These are the people that are easily scared and not prepared for anything that may come. Instead of being proactive, they're reactive. And this is the eldership that we have today. So what always fails new generations is the older generations not taking up the mantle. And shout out to the youth that are coming through, 25 and over, early 30s, even the young ones in their early 20s, that are striking out, creating, and with the time quickening, that brain development, us going from this fourth dimension into the fifth dimension, that brain development is also going to change too. I was just reading an article on Science Alert stating that they found out, they call it CMDs. I believe it's, actually, let me not even say because I don't remember what it is. But it's basically the first light of the universe, or the first spark of the universe. So it's the back. That's what cosmic microwave radiation. That's what it's called. CMRs, cosmic microwave radiation. It's basically the light that's in the background of the universe from the birth of the universe. So this light, or this cosmic light, what they figured out is that in physics is that this background radiation is integrating with dark matter. So as we go into this new age of Aquarius, this air age, right? The universe itself is changing. The universe itself is transforming because they're noticing, or really it's probably always been happening, but they're just detecting. It's a new scientific revelation to the physical eye that light is actually interacting, or the ancient light from the Big Bang, so-called Big Bang, is actually interacting with dark matter, which they didn't think before was happening before. So everything in our universe is growing and expanding. And this is why I always talk about this lifestyle, or this spiritual work being lifestyle. It's not something you can only do, when you got a man, when you have man trouble, or when you have girl trouble, or when you need some money. All those things is for, yes, you could do those things. There's nothing wrong. We all do that, right? Look, I always tell people, you really want to get spells, you don't even really have to follow anybody to get spells. I give you the real truth. You don't have to follow a soul to get spells. Just go on Pinterest, type in money spells, figure out which one feels good and you could afford the recipe, and do it and see if it works. Right now, you could follow somebody and do a spell that they got from somebody on Pinterest, or a spell that they created from their own mind. But the best spells that you create are the spells that come from your own imagination. Those are the best spells in the world. The spells that come from your own imagination, the downloads from your ancestors. When I showed y'all earlier that I was had the candle, if you look at my earlier video, I got the orange candle, right? And I just walked in there. I didn't walk in there with an agenda. I walked in there and I literally, in my mind, asked my ancestors, yo, what candle should I get? What should I get in here? What do I need? What do I need? And boom, information came to me. And I was going to get something else. And my spirit was like, nah, you don't need that. This is what you need right now. Tap into this sacral. Tap into this sacral right now. All right? And this is what else you need to tap into. And this is what else you need to give as an offering. Okay? Or just through asking myself, talking to my inner self. And I haven't lost doing that, Even when I was a Christian and I was engaged in prayer, right? I trusted in God. And the one good thing about my mother is devout, She's devout, so she is sincere. So she wasn't playing games with Christianity. So that's why it's very hard, to come on here and be a fraud. Like I said in my earlier videos when I first started, if I'm not right, I'm not going to come and talk to y'all, So, or if I don't feel like I'm on the right track, I'm not going to come and talk to y'all. If I don't feel like I'm manifesting what I want, and I'm not enjoying my life, and I'm not overcoming my challenges, then there's no need to come to y'all. If it's about money or views and shit, I could do some ignorant shit. You know what I'm saying? I could just do some ignorant shit and get a million views, or talk about gossip, or talk about celebrities, you know? Talk about conspiracies all the time. And I know there's conspiracies out there. I understand that there are different organizations that are targeting us that are of wise mind, that do get these downloads, that are connected to spirit, that are connected to divinity, that there are different monkey wrenches thrown at us. However, I do know that God is supreme, that I am the cream that rises to the top, that I am the maker, the owner, the cream of the universe, father of civilization. I say to the God bodies, right? So with this knowledge, even though sometimes I'm down, I utilize ways to get up. I create a circle around me that I know loves me, and then I pour love into them as well, so that I can lean on them and I can trust them, and therefore they know that they could trust me. But you have to be a person that's trustworthy in order to create trust. If you know the minute somebody tells you something, you're going to run and tell that, then how you expect to find people, how you expect to attract people that you can trust or that trust you? If you're a person that is misleading people, and you're a person that no one can invest their thoughts in without you telling somebody, even if they don't know you told them. Why are you always telling people secrets? And this is not just for women. Men do this all the time. A lot of wars are started this way simply because of that. Through men. Even though women do it a shit ton, right? So, eldership is about mentorship. It's about nurturing and development. It's Mr. Miyagi, Mrs. Miyagi, with Daniel's son. You know, the elder basically is utilizing youthful energy as a vessel. Basically pouring into youthful energy and utilizing that youthful energy as an avatar, utilizing that youthful energy as a sigil. That's what Gandalf did with Frodo, right? They went on that quest, but Gandalf wanted to know what was up with that ring too, right? Talking about the Lord of the Rings. Uncle Ben and Spider-Man. With great power lies great responsibility. That's his motto, right? So once you hit that age of maturity, it's better to do it when you're young. This is why the commissions, this is why it's great to do it with the children. And this is why it's great to focus more on the youth. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a new age, this age of Aquarius. It's all about newness. And it's all about creating a new timeline and creating new themes and creating new archetypes with these new spiritual powers, these new psychic powers, these new clairvoyant powers that are coming online, right? Technology is about to change. Where they're about to put chips in people's brains and people are going to accept it. Remember, those of us that were existed prior to the internet, we're going to get old and leave this physical avatar one day. We're going to get older and older and leave this physical avatar. But the youth, right, the baby that was born in 2020, all he knows is quarantine and mask and online learning and Amazon deliveries and DoorDash. So this is the new technology is about to become God. And now, again, with the brain being as undeveloped as it is, they say before the age of 7, really, if you don't hardwire your kid emotionally by the age of 7 and teach them how to take risks safely and teach and give them love and attention, then that's a hurdle that you can't really break them, but it's really till 28. After 7 is hard. After 14 is harder. After 21 it's even harder. And after 25, shit, you got to put in real work. That's why the early years are the best years to develop self. But if you're catching these things late, a lot of people are waking up right now in their 40s and 50s, that's okay. But make sure as you're doing these things for yourself, you're also mentoring youth. People at your job, people in your family, people that you're around, right? Or even through vehicles like YouTube and Instagram, through your pages, through your Facebook and your Twitters and things like that. Make sure you're uplifting and inspiring, a beacon of light that people could look to, that younger people could look to for wisdom. Don't waste your eldership simply trying to be the flyest, or simply trying to sound the wittiest, or simply trying to get the most money out of everybody. Because now, don't get me wrong, I'm a business. This is business that I do, right? The Lord's business, right? The Lord's business. But my business, my purposeful business is inspiring those, is raising the frequency on the planet, is help raising the vibration on the planet. And that will lead me, and that has led me to shit, everything that I want and need. I learned to not conform to what TV and what media says I should have and should be to be happy, and learn how to be happy without any of it. You know, like I said before earlier, even as a Christian, just me believing, and through my mother having that type of faith, right? And really trying her hardest to be the best Christian she could be, even though she had her own ways. But, you know, as far as that was concerned, she tried her best. I'll say that. In her own way. So seeing that example, this is why childhood is so important. You know, it allowed me to utilize prayer. This is why I never discount prayer. You know, it's just now I know I'm not praying to no Jesus or no intercessor. I know I'm praying to the divinity within self, the creator, the grand creator, right? Whatever you call that. You know, whatever you call that. Whatever created this holographic universe, wherever this holographic universe came from, the grand creator. I am one with that, and I am that. Not to say that I created everything, but I am part of the spark that created everything, so I am that. I am one with that. I am family. I am family with God. I'm family with the creator, and so are you. So are you. This isn't an exclusive club. But those that are chosen choose themselves. Those that are chosen choose themselves. And going into this age of Aquarius, we really need those that are elders to step up. Those that are elders start creating YouTube, start creating things and developing courses and classes and teachings and art and clothing and messaging and things that inspire and uplift and help the youth, because the youth are ready. You see what happened when they had the riots this year, right? The youth are ready. They just need the right direction and the right push. And those of us that are elders, we need to be using our energy to direct them with that right push and what that right push is. We're not using it to manipulate or take advantage. We're really using it to uplift, motivate, and direct. in the way that we want to see the future, because we will be ancestors one day. So when they light candles in our name, let it be because we were lit candles here on earth. We were candles in the dark here on earth. All right. So glory be to the gods. Peace, power, and prosperity, everybody. Like, share, subscribe. I will see y'all tomorrow. I do have a guest tomorrow. Aisha Fire Harris, poet, MC. She had some fire live she was doing earlier this year, and I wanted to bring her on, share some of her poetry and stuff with y'all. So different conversation, but uplifting and inspiring and magical as well. So be the magic, do the work, create. Okay, stop being a simple consumer. Create, 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 create. You have to make a decision in 2020. Are you going to be a rampant consumer, or are you going to be a creator? Are you going to be a consumer, or are you going to be a creator? We all consume, but are you a mass consumer, or are you a mass creator? Okay, creators are the closest to the gods. Peace, power.